Cool.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
I read on your Twitter bio that you were born from Kendal and
Yeah,
built in Leeds.
That's right. Yeah, I mean we all know each other from way back. We went to school in Kendal, which is a small town, like sort of 30,000 people, and we all kind of moved to Leeds for various reasons. It's only a couple of hours away. It's a sort of thriving music scene at the time, and we kind of we sort of lived in Leeds about 5 years and sort of totally like came up as a band in Leeds, and so it's definitely true that I think we definitely consider ourselves a kind of a Leeds band because of our experiences, you know what I mean, but our roots are elsewhere.
So the word built in this instance?
In a musical sense, yeah, we were built in Leeds, I think.
So what kind of town is Kendal like?
Kendal's a very small market-based town. It's probably about 30,000 people live there. It's quite an affluent area because it's also known as the gateway to the Lake District, which is a national park which starts 5-6 miles away from Kendal.
Yeah, it's a tourist town as well. You know, it's yeah, a sort of farming tourist town. It's a nice. I guess it's a nice place to grow up.
It's lovely. It's lovely and idyllic, isn't it? But I think in terms of something cultural to grab hold of, or anything of, I don't know, anything to set your mind on fire, there isn't much there. So you kind of have to, I don't know, not make your own fun, but kind of revolt against what isn't there.
Mm. So what is there in sense of culture?
Well, I mean, it's like anything. It's a small rural town. I mean, you're attached to Manchester or Newcastle or Leeds umbilically, you know, so everything kind of comes to you. Oh,
that's fine.
Here comes the ambulance.
My
No.
cell phone.
No, I mean, everything comes to you kind of secondhand, and you feel like you're very kind of cut off from the fulcrums of culture in Britain, you know what I mean? So it's it gives you a perspective on things which you maybe wouldn't have if you were a bit more plugged into things.
So was it a kind of, maybe this is a wrong word, but culture shock moving to Leeds?
It was maybe a little, but I mean, it was deliberate. I mean, we were so frustrated by that point, you know, and so like sick of what we had in front of us. We felt like we had to get out, you know. So I guess in some senses, I think we felt kind of vindicated by the time we got to Leeds. We felt kind of that people were getting it like quicker than we might have done elsewhere. You know, I think it was very supportive. And there was more, because it's a big college town, big university town, there's a lot more variety of people of different backgrounds than you might expect. You know, it's very international, it's very kind of multi-ethnic, it's very kind of multi-financial as well. You know what I mean? As big university towns, you have that, you know, all spectrums of people. So I think that makes for a very exciting place as a young person.
You said people would get it quicker. Then what do you mean by get it?
I think what we were doing as a band would be, I suppose it is perceived as being slightly left of centre, it's slightly left field, so I think it was more of it was just being surrounded by more like-minded people in a way, and I don't know, I think it's easy to be a bit too volatile and carry too much of a chip on your shoulder if you stay in a small place like Kendal, and you do need something to kind of bat against and play with you, you know. So I think that's why Leeds was the choice.
Yeah, there's this kind of thing, that myth of like the artist sat behind his desk creating. You know what I mean? It's not like that. You have to have something to bounce off. You need
an environment, don't you?
Yeah, it's something to respond to. So I think that's what that was.
Did you get, do you remember a certain reaction you get in Kendal, where you thought of, okay, people just don't get it here?
No, well, I think it kind of just feels like you are like hitting your head against a brick wall for a bit there. I mean, the growth of the band wasn't really that substantial by that point of leaving Leeds, so it was. I wouldn't say that what we did was ignored or not encouraged, because I think it was just from friends and family. But I mean, yeah, it's just not it's not the correct environment to be going out gigging. You're 90 miles away from the nearest cultural hub, so Kendal's not a starting point for that sort of thing.
You don't get anywhere by being the only fish in the pond, you know what I mean?
So did you, when you moved to Leeds, did you have some sort of, that you felt that there was just too much, that you got overreacted by some stuff that was there?
No, I think we kind of realised what we knew we were missing out on something growing up in Kendal. Obviously, we're still very we were very happy with the, well, I want to speak for myself, but I was happy with the child that I had, but I think you do get to a certain age, as Thomas said, when you kind of, you just want to further yourself a little more. So we weren't surprised by what was in Leeds. I think we were just more encouraging, really.
I think in real terms as well, Leeds is a small city, you know what I mean? It was kind of, it wasn't like suddenly being thrown into the industrial wastes of a huge metropolis, you know what I mean? It's still quite a, it does feel quite villagey, Leeds, in a lot of ways. It still feels like quite a small town, which is quite, which, you know, like I was saying about its atmosphere, it is kind of unique in that it has this kind of the big city reach and the small town kind of atmosphere, which is really cool.